Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective New York Toy Fair 2019 exclusive Agent Edition Gomez figure review. Let's do it. All black box. You can see it says Gomez on that side. There's a picture of Mr. Gomez there, or Agent Gomez, if you will. And then Gomez again on the other side. Let's get this bad boy open, see what's what. Alright, so I've got Gomez out of the package. This was the New York Toy Fair 2019 Toy Fair exclusive, as previously mentioned. And like I also mentioned previously, I arrived on Saturday morning, bright and early, for NECA's press event. I actually bumped into Dan from Toy Galaxy in the press lounge. I bumped into Pixel Dan, and I bumped into Shartimus. And it's funny because I just saw a picture today with Shartimus saying that he was like sandwiched between two Dans. He took a picture with both Dans. But yeah, so it was cool seeing those people again. I hadn't seen Dan since HasCon. And I don't know when the last time I saw Pixel Dan, but that was cool. And I'm not going to hold you guys up. This figure is dope. He's really cool. I'm going to breeze through this much quicker than I did the Blade review. Later on in the evening, after that first day of Toy Fair, I actually went over to Forbidden Planet because Shartimus had an in-store signing. All right, we at Forbidden Planet, and we came to laugh at Shartimus. He's doing an in-store signing. Look at that mug, believe it or not. So I went over there to make fun of him and joke on him a bit, but it was actually cool to see him do that. And by the way, this is going to be my New York Toy Fair vlog 003. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a few things from my day or from the past couple days as I go through this review. But anyway, Shartimus was doing an in-store signing there. He had quite a few people lined up to come and meet him, which was cool. One thing that really stood out to me though was my boy Ed. Danny. Took a picture with Shartimus just to update his pictures with Shartimus, because he had a picture with him from the very first time he attended San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. And you can see the contrast there between the both of them. And I thought that was really, really cool. Again, me getting back to the relationships and meeting people at these events and just, you know, the camaraderie. And that was really, really dope. But at that event, my boy Brian McManus broke out his Gomez figure, and I got an opportunity to mess around with it then before I got mine home to review it, and I was blown away right then and there. So yeah, let's get into this. Straight out of the package, he comes with two fists, and it's a quick look at those pegs. He's got a set of open hands with the fingers spread, jazz hands if you will. He's got a set that's cupped, and these can be utilized to hold some of his other accessories, or any other accessories for that matter. He's got a set where the right hand is pointing and the left hand is giving the middle finger. He's got a set with the right hand that has the trigger finger extended. Obviously, that'll be to hold his guns. And then he has a left hand with the middle finger and the pointer finger extended. I'm getting an instant transmission vibe. There's another right hand with the trigger finger extended and a left hand that looks like it can be utilized to support his weapon. There is another left hand with the trigger finger extended, and one final hand that is an additional left hand that looks like it can also support his weapon. This probably is the one that is better fitted to support the weapon. Maybe the other one is for the boombox or something. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out shortly. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 complete sets of hands, and then 2 extra left hands if I'm not mistaken. So I'll double back to the hands that I need that are necessary to show off the rest of his accessories, but I wanted to take a quick look at this deco, which I think looks absolutely marvelous. It looks very, very good. I'm under the impression that they did not show off John Wick at this show because they are retooling John Wick with some of the parts and the tailoring here for Gomez. I don't know that for certain. I do know that John Wick is still coming and that he was not on display at Toy Fair, and that they did say they were doing some retooling, and I'm hoping that the retooling that they do is going to be to use this same buck for John Wick and this same tailoring, because the original suit that they showed for John didn't look that great to me, and I actually had sent a message saying that to them at some point when they first showed him off. And considering what Mafex's John Wick is going to look like, I think that they went back to the drawing board. Again, don't quote me on that. We'll see what's what. But this all looks great. He's got the gray shirt with the black suit. You can see the belt. You can see little fine details on the buckle and the belt going through the loops there. And that all looks very cool and authentic. The Converse here actually have the Mezco logo. I thought it had it on the side. Oh, it does. Okay, so it does have the Mezco logo there. Focus. Cool. Mezco logo there. And on the bottom where the treads are. So these look very cool. This is tailored perfectly to this body. It looks very, very nice. And I'll give you a close look at this head sculpt. And very nice detail on the head here. The eyes in particular look really mesmerizing. And he's got the bug head with the little antenna, which are actually articulated, believe it or not. We'll get into articulation shortly, but this looks great. So let's look at the other head sculpts that he comes with. Now, you can help me out in the comments because I'm not really sure how to categorize the difference between these heads. I know that Gomez has underwent some changes throughout the years, I suppose, and this is not their first time doing a Gomez figure, just their first time doing one for the 112 collective line. So I'm not really sure what the deal is, what the differences between these two. Help me out in the comments if you can. But just looking at it, this one has a more detailed and sort of like rigid head as opposed to this one, which is a little more smooth. And the antenna are different on this one. They're a little thinner. But it looks great. The detail here is amazing. I really love the eyes on all of these. There's one more head sculpt. And actually there's two more. But here's one of the last two. So are these antenna articulated? Doesn't look like these antenna are articulated though. The head's not really popping on there. There we go. But this looks fine too. And then the final interchangeable head is this all black skull, which looks fine. It looks a little large. I mean, all of the heads look large in proportion to the body, but I mean, I guess that's cool. Something you could do if you wanted to repurpose this as somebody in like a Halloween costume or something like that. I suppose you could do that. So I was really pleased with the range of motion on this buck. I believe it's something all new because there is a very good range of motion on this guy. Again, I'm hoping this is the buck that they use for John Wick and the buck that they use moving forward for their more slender characters. But give you a quick look at this ball peg here. Looks like one of the smaller ones. I don't know if we've had one that size before or not. I guess I'll figure out some head swaps later, but you get a good range of motion on the head and neck. The head and neck are two separate parts, so they move independently of each other. Get him to look down. He can look up pretty far, and you can half this off just a little bit, half it off the peg a bit to get him to look up more. Like I said, the antenna here are articulated. They're on a little ball peg, which will have them rotate and move back and forward. No issues there. Shoulders on a ball joint. Gets a little tight with the suit jacket here up at the shoulders, so you're not going to get the greatest range going up and around. I suppose you could get this jacket off. Yeah, there is another jacket packed in too. We'll get into that. But there is a butterfly joint here as well. There is a double jointed elbow, which is great. There is a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. I was under the impression that Blade and Gomez shared the same buck, but I do not think so. I think that they gave Blade the double jointed elbows, but I don't know that this torso is the same because there is a really good range of motion in the torso. You get articulation at the lower abdomen as well as the upper torso, so you can move them left to right, back and forward. You get a really good range. This feels better than any other 112 collective Mezco that I've dealt with, and he will turn at the waist and turn at the upper torso as well. I assume there's a T-joint here at the pelvis, so you can get the leg up pretty far. There is an upper thigh swivel. There is a double jointed knee. You get a swivel on the foot. You get a hinge. You get a slight pivot, and this guy is very well articulated. I'm happy with this articulation for certain. All right, continuing on with his accessories. He's packed in with this sheath that can obviously sheath his sword, which I'll show momentarily. But this is all black. There's a black strap. You can strap this across his upper torso or just hang it from his arm. A couple of different little textures and ridges and what have you on here, and that looks good. And then he's also packed in with this black sword, and the handle has some ridges on it. It's a different feel on the handle, and this can be sheathed, and that looks good. And there's a look at that with it draped over his shoulder. It's really not the best. I could probably get that better. I could actually use a different hand, but you get the picture. And there he is with the strap across his chest. And I wonder if you could actually adjust this. It's a good possibility. Let's see. Well, I'm still trying to mess around with the strap to see if you can adjust it. I don't want to tear it, but this is a working latch. And you can detach this here, which is amazing. So that's a very fine detail, and that's pretty cool. Let me get this back together without breaking it. Hold on. So I'm still not 100% sure about trying to tighten this here. I'll have to mess with this a bit more off camera, but this is him holding the sword, and that looks great. And again, this articulation is just phenomenal. I mean, it's you know, it's phenomenal for Mezco, for what we've gotten from Mezco. Obviously, there are a ton of other figures on the market that have been shitting on Mezco in terms of articulation, but this is absolutely a step in the right direction with them, especially as it relates to the torso and really getting them crouching down. You know, there's no body armor or anything to hinder the articulation. But yeah, moving forward. He's packed in with this rather large sniper rifle. I don't think this is a design that we've received prior with any other figures. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's two cool things about this. One, you can remove the magazine like in most of the larger weapons that come with Mezco figures, and there is an additional magazine, but this entire rifle actually breaks down and you can actually turn it into just a pistol by breaking down all the parts here. Well, I guess you could kind of consider that a pistol still, but yeah, I had just put the scope back on. But yeah, you can break it down like this and do whatever you see fit with it. He also comes with a couple of muzzle flares. So this is the one that we've received with quite a few figures already. Made popular or made famous by that first Punisher figure that we got. And you can see the bullet there at the end of the flare. And then there's this one, which is new, which is unique to Gomez and to Blade. This is the first time this has been packed in with any figures, so they packed it in with both exclusives, and you can see the muzzle flare is a lot larger than the other one. So as it relates to Blade, you'll use this with the shotgun, and for Gomez, I guess you can do whatever, because he's a more sort of cartoony character. And we're not quite done with the sniper rifle. I'll come back to that shortly, but he's also packed in with two of these grenades. I guess there's some sort of futuristic grenades or gas canisters, I'm not sure, but there's two of those, and that looks good. And this is the hand that is ideal for holding that, the hand that I originally thought would be for resting his weapon, but yeah, it's more suited for this. And I'm not 100% sure what this is supposed to be, if it's supposed to be a gun or if some of the other parts are supposed to attach to this. I don't know. If you know, help me out in the comments below. But I do see two little, I guess one of the muzzle flares could go in there. I do see two little holes here. Yeah, you can get one of the muzzle flares there. So I don't know, maybe this, again, is some crazy alien weaponry. That's supposed to be like some sort of smaller caliber weapon, pistol. But yeah, he can hold it with no issues. I had no problem swapping out any of the hands and stuff like that. Everything is working properly. No issues with quality control as of yet. And it should be noted that you can slip his suit jacket off to reveal his gray short sleeve shirt. And you can see his arms, and his skin is brown, which is very, very cool to me, because I'm thinking about whether or not you can kit bash this guy into some character that is brown, you know, a regular person that doesn't have a huge alien head, even though the neck here looks a little odd. It looks like an insect. But anyway, I wanted to take that off to see, well, I wanted to see if it could be removed for one, and to see what was going on underneath there. And then I also wanted to show you that he has a trench coat as well, which is not a version that we've received before. It's got a real potent smell to it. As a matter of fact, the entire figure had that great new figure smell when I took them out. But the material here is different. This is not something I've seen with the other jackets. Now, maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's similar to Joker's trench coat, the deluxe Joker. Yeah, it's got that sort of feel. But even that jacket, I don't know. This one feels a little more delicate than anything that I've seen prior. And I feel like if you get this anywhere near some heat or you don't take care of this, it's going to fall apart. There he is with the trench coat on without the suit jacket. I'm going to get the suit jacket back on and get everything on. But again, the tailoring here is phenomenal. Top notch. Everything is fitted really nicely. And you can flip his collar down. There's no bendy wire in the collar, but you can flip it down if you don't want it up. There is bendy wire here and the straps for the coat though. And you can get those down so it looks authentic and they're not just hanging. Or you can get them blowing in the wind if you want. You know, a lot of possibilities here, a lot of playability, which is great. And before I put everything back on, excellent stitch work, nothing that looks too ugly, too crazy. You know, everything is through and through here. The buttons on his shirt, the tie looks like it's really tied. This is great tailoring. And there he is with everything on. The overcoat and his suit jacket. And that looks good, man. You know, you can toggle with this and have him rock it however you want. And I didn't really have too much of an issue getting the coat on. It's a good amount of room where you can get it on without tearing up anything, and everything looks good. You know, his fit is damn near perfect though, man. And his very final accessory, aside from a stand, because all Mezco figures come with a stand, I always have to give that disclaimer, is this old school boombox, a radio here. A lot of you youngsters have never had a radio like this, I'm sure, that played tapes, cassettes. You don't even know what that is. But anyway, this is cool. There is a handle. At first I thought there was no handle, but he can hold this. Let me get him to hold it real quick. Woo! Official. You can't tell me that's not wavy right there. Look at that. That looks so cool. So there's that. And now we're going to double back to this sniper rifle because the boombox can actually open up. So if you lift up the handle of the boombox and you slide it back here just a little bit, you can open it up. And then he's also packed in with these little foam parts here because you can use these to insert them into the boombox and use the boombox as a case for the sniper rifle when it's broken down. So let me put that all together. That was a really nice feature. And according to these directions, there are 2 weapon configurations you can do in here. You can't put everything in there at once, but you can do 2 different configurations, right? So it looks like this is going to be the way to put it in for one. So you see that. No, I actually had that one upside down, so I just flipped it over. And then you can see this start to form. I'll get everything in there. And I forgot to break this down one more time. The barrel here can be detached from there. And it looks like, I think that's right, but that's the full sniper rifle broken down. Maybe some of these can be spent a different way, but let's see. As long as it closes, I guess it's okay. Yep. So there you have that. And then there is a second configuration, and you would put the second piece of foam in this way. I assume this is how the second one goes. Well, I'm pretty sure about the little pistol and this part of the sniper rifle and the magazine, but I can't make out what the hell is in this portion on this on these instructions. I'm assuming that this little bomb goes there, but it's not like, I don't know, I guess I could get this to close. It closes, so I assume that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then there's this too on the instructions where it shows the backpack and micro mez. I don't know where that is. I guess that's in my bag somewhere. And then it says attach feet to stereo board by magnetic feature. Where's the stereo board? I don't know. I'm truly stumped about this magnetic feature and this stereo board. I'm gonna have to explore that a little deeper on Instagram or in a follow-up video. I need to move forward. Got a lot of editing to get to, a lot of footage to bring you. So quick size comparisons here. We have the Mezco Black Panther and the Mezco Toy Fair exclusive Blade. And you can see Gomez is, I guess, well, he's definitely taller than Black Panther. Seemed like he's about the same height as Blade. And my camera is also about to die, so I'm trying to power through so I can edit the first half of this and then set up my final shot. But this is pretty lit right here. So this is the Black Panther T'Challa head that does not look like Chadwick Boseman, but it does look like me. Maybe, I don't know, a couple of black people that I know in the community. But although you can kind of make out Gomez's neck there, the head does sit really flush on that peg where you can kind of hide it as well. So you got some generic black dude in a suit with the Converse, and that looks really, really dope. Let me see what's going on with Blade's head. Yep, and that works too. Here we go. So that works as well. Obviously, you can use any of the heads that came with Blade, or any of the heads from any Mezco figures that fit this peg. Let me get a more neutral face on here though. That looks great. And I saw all the comments about all the different people that Blade looks like in my Blade review. Somebody said Penny Hardaway, which I could see. Somebody said Mike Tyson when I had the bald head with the Scully on. And I saw R. Kelly. Quite a few different ones, but this looks great, man. Come on, fam. Is it lit or is it lit? Those are the shades that came with Blade on the T'Challa head, on the Gomez body. This all looks very cool. It would absolutely be a crime if we don't get a regular release of this figure. I don't see why Mezco would not release it. Anytime they do Toy Fair exclusives, they still do release the figure. It's just that that exclusive stays exclusive to whatever that colorway is or whatever those additional accessories are. So I do anticipate that we'll see this guy with less accessories or some sort of deco change. But this body is money. I really, really hope that John Wick is on this body. I hope they continue to use this body. Great job, Mezco. Thank you for hosting the event at Toy Fair. Thank you for giving this out to all of the influencers. I was happy to be able to review it. And man, I am super duper pleased with this figure overall. I'm excited to explore a lot of kit bashing possibilities like some of the ones I showed a few moments ago. And that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the night, probably. I said that I would do this in less time than Blade, and it's pretty much just under 25 minutes for this, and Blade was 25 minutes. But thanks for hanging out. If you hung out all the way to the end, I appreciate you. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.